At the start, we meet Suzuki, a struggling sketch artist who pours everything into his work, but no one notices. Broke and out of options, he takes a job under another artist just to survive. He returns home late one night where he's staying with his friend, Teko, but things aren't good between them. She's tired of supporting him and her frustration turns into resentment. After a heated argument, she finally snaps and throws him out. With nowhere to go, Suzuki ends up sitting alone in a park, trying to calm his mind by reading a book. Nearby, a man is writhing in pain, but Suzuki ignores it, thinking it's none of his business. The next morning, he heads to work like nothing happened, but everything is about to change. News reports suddenly break out overnight. A deadly virus has spread across the city. Anyone infected turns into a violent, uncontrollable zombie, attacking and biting others. So far, 4 cases have already been confirmed. As the tension rises, one of Suzuki's co-workers suddenly falls sick and rushes out of the office. His friend mentions something chilling. Someone in a nearby house was infected too, and now that person is missing. And just as they're talking, things start to feel very wrong. Meanwhile, their boss walks in, acting strange. Everyone asks if he's okay, but no one notices his eyes slowly turning completely black. The news warns people not to go outside, so they all stay in the office overnight. Late at night, Suzuki gets a call from Teko. She apologizes for everything, says she didn't mean what she said, and lost control in the moment. As they talk, Suzuki notices helicopters flying across the sky, way too many to be normal. Something is clearly wrong, but he brushes it off. The next morning, he rushes out, buys Teko her favorite cake, and heads straight to her place. He knocks. No answer. He waits. Still nothing. He calls her again and again, but there's only silence. Worried, Suzuki peeks through the small gap in the door. Inside, Teko is lying on the floor, completely still, like she's asleep. Suddenly, she moves. She jolts awake, then drops hard to the ground. Her body starts twitching violently, moving in a way that doesn't look human. Not realizing the danger, Suzuki calls out her name. She hears him. Slowly, she turns and starts moving toward the door in a disturbing, unnatural way. Then, in an instant, she lunges at him, wild, aggressive, like she's lost all control. Suzuki is trapped, and now he's face to face with something that isn't Teko anymore. The virus is brutal. Teko blindly bites at the door, smashing her own teeth as they fall out one by one. Then, with insane strength, she drags Suzuki inside and tries to tear into him. He barely holds her off. In a split second, Suzuki grabs her by the neck and slams her head onto a sharp trophy lying nearby. One hit and she goes still. He doesn't wait. He runs. Exhausted, he crosses a bridge, trying to get as far away as possible. On the way, a wounded woman stumbles past him, her arm badly torn. That's when it hits him. The virus is spreading fast. He looks up, multiple aircraft flying overhead. Now it's clear. This isn't small anymore. The entire city is infected. When Suzuki finally reaches his office, he finds his friend holding a baseball bat, covered in blood. He had no choice. He killed one of their infected co-workers. Then suddenly their boss appears, fully turned. Before he can attack, Suzuki's friend takes him down without hesitation. At this point, Suzuki is mentally breaking. Everywhere he goes, death follows. His friend looks at him and says it straight: the virus has taken over the city, and one bite is all it takes. Within minutes, you're no longer human. Hearing this, Suzuki freezes because Teko bit his hand. For a second, he thinks it's over. Then he realizes something: he's not turning. During the fight, all of Teko's teeth had already fallen out. The bite didn't infect him. Relief hits, but it doesn't last. His friend suddenly starts changing. His body shakes, his eyes fade, he's turning. Before Suzuki can react, his friend reveals the truth while killing the boss. He got bitten on the leg. Knowing what's coming, he doesn't hesitate. He grabs a knife and slits his own throat, ending it before he can become a monster. Suzuki is shaken to the core. He runs. The moment he steps outside, the world is chaos. People are screaming, running for their lives. Zombies are everywhere, attacking, tearing into anyone they see. The streets have turned into a nightmare. Suzuki has no idea where to go. He's trapped in the middle of it all. Suddenly, he spots a police officer and rushes for help. But the second he gets close, the cop attacks him. He's infected too. Suzuki barely escapes and keeps running, but ahead of him, an entire crowd is rushing toward him, panicked, desperate, trying to survive. The whole city is collapsing. Seeing the chaos, Suzuki turns and runs the other way. Everywhere he looks, only zombies. There's no escape now. His life is on the line. As he sprints down the street, he spots a parked car. Inside, the driver is asleep, completely unaware of what's happening outside. Suzuki is about to jump in when suddenly a girl named Hiromi runs up, begging for help. At that moment, a zombie notices them. It starts walking toward them, calmly, talking on a phone like nothing's wrong. Suzuki panics. He reaches into his bag, pulls out a gun, and aims, but the gun vanishes. It was all in his head. In reality, he's just standing there empty-handed. Then suddenly, the car's owner shows up. After a lot of pleading, he finally lets Suzuki and Hiromi get in, and they speed away. As they drive, the news on the radio confirms the worst: the entire city is infected. Zombies are everywhere, and the only advice left is to lock yourself inside and don't come out. But even that won't save them. A few moments later, the driver starts changing. His veins turn black. He's been bitten too. Within seconds, he fully transforms. The moment he turns, he attacks. First, he bites the driver beside him, then he lunges straight at Suzuki. Suzuki reacts fast. He kicks the infected man out of the car. The guy hits the ground but grabs Suzuki's legs, trying to drag him out with him. Just in time, Hiromi slams the car door straight into his head. The grip loosens. Suzuki pulls free. For a second, they think it's over, but it's not. The driver suddenly starts turning turning. The bite got him too. His veins darken, his body stiffens, and within moments, he loses control. He floors the gas. The car speeds out of control. Suzuki and Hiromi quickly buckle up as the driver, now fully turned, tries to attack them. Before he can reach them, crash. The car slams into another vehicle, completely wrecked on impact. Everything goes silent. Miraculously, Suzuki and Hiromi survive. They crawl out and look around, and what they see is pure devastation. The city is destroyed. Cars are piled into each other, roads blocked, chaos everywhere. No order, no safety. A news alert on a phone confirms the nightmare. The virus has taken over completely. Anyone infected turns into a zombie within minutes, and once they change, they lose all control, driven only by hunger. These zombies don't just attack, they feed on each other. From a news update, Suzuki and Hiromi learn about a safe zone near Mount Fuji, where the government has set up a survival camp. Anyone still uninfected is heading there, hoping to stay alive until a cure is found. By the time they move, it's already night. They stop at an empty house, eat whatever they can find, and try to rest. Morning comes. Suzuki wakes up and looks at Hiromi sleeping, but then he notices something, a bite mark on her neck, exactly like the others. Without thinking, he points a gun at her. Hiromi quickly explains it's old. A child bit her 2 days before the outbreak even started. After a tense moment, Suzuki believes her. They keep moving toward Mount Fuji, but not long after, Hiromi stops. She tells him to go on without her. She knows she could turn at any moment, and she doesn't want to risk his life. She hands him her phone, telling him to call for help if he makes it. Then it starts. Her body begins to change. Suzuki doesn't wait, he runs. A little further ahead, he spots a man standing still. For a second, it feels like hope, until the man attacks. Another zombie. Suzuki is seconds away from being killed. When suddenly Hiromi shows up, now half human, half zombie, Hiromi snaps. She drops the attacking zombie with a single punch, then tears it apart. Slowly, she turns toward Suzuki. He freezes, this is it. But instead of attacking, she reaches out and helps him up. She's not gone. Not completely. Some part of her is still human. Later, they sit deep in the forest beside a pile of scrap. Suzuki searches for food and tries to feed her. At first, she doesn't understand her mind is slipping. After a while, he manages to get her to eat, but she devours it like an animal. The virus is still inside her. The only thing keeping Suzuki alive is the fact that she's still holding back. They continue toward Mount Fuji. Days pass. Suzuki is exhausted, beard grown out, body barely holding up, but he keeps going, supporting Hiromi every step of the way. On the way, he finds a shopping cart. That means one thing, they're close. He rushes to check it for food, but it's empty. Suzuki puts Hiromi in the cart and keeps moving. Days without food, no strength left, but he doesn't give up. After a brutal journey, he finally reaches a military outlet park near Mount Fuji, but there's no one alive, only burned, rotting bodies, victims of the outbreak. Inside a shop, Suzuki looks for clothes, trying to clean himself up when suddenly a zombie appears and lunges at him. Hiromi is his only backup, but she's unconscious. Just as things go bad, a girl named Roma jumps in and saves him. She's not alone. A small group is with her. They've been surviving on the building's deck, a spot high enough to stay out of reach from most zombies. Then one of them signals zombies are coming. Fast. They quickly split into two groups. One group runs ahead to distract the zombies. The other sneaks away to grab food and supplies. The first group gets swarmed almost immediately, but they fight back, taking down zombies one by one. Just when it looks like they'll be overwhelmed, the second group creates a diversion from behind, pulling the zombies away just in time. They start banging metal utensils and making as much noise as possible. It works. The zombies turn and rush toward the sound, leaving the others behind. Taking advantage, the rest of the group sneaks into the store, grabs whatever food they can, ties it up with ropes, and climbs back up to the rooftop. That's how they've survived. The staircase is blocked by a massive net wall, impossible for zombies to cross. Everyone makes it safely to the top. Up there, Suzuki meets their leader, Lura. He welcomes him and shows him a storage area filled with essentials, food, supplies, everything they've managed to collect. Lura tells him, take whatever you need. Then he notices Suzuki's gun. His eyes light up. They don't have weapons like that. Something that can actually take down zombies fast. That night, while talking, Roma asks Suzuki how he met Hiromi. He tells her the truth, he met her while escaping the infected city. Roma reveals she's a nurse and offers to take care of Hiromi. The next day, Suzuki sits beside Hiromi, trying to keep her calm. That's when we notice he's covered one of her eyes with a cloth. He's hiding the truth. If anyone finds out she's infected, they won't hesitate. They'll kill them both. Later, Lura gathers everyone. Food is running out. Lura gathers everyone and lays it out. There's a huge supply of food left in the store below. If they can get it, they could survive here for years. But going outside means facing the zombies. Before heading out, Lura asks Suzuki for his shotgun, claiming he can use it better. Suzuki refuses. Lura's tone changes. He threatens him. If Suzuki doesn't hand over the gun, he'll separate him from Hiromi. At the same time, a few people start getting suspicious of Hiromi. They drag her outside by force. Roma tries to stop them, but she's overpowered and held back. Suzuki still refuses to give up the gun and runs out after them. Outside, he sees Hiromi being held. He raises his gun, demanding they let her go. Lura doesn't back down. He aims his crossbow straight at Suzuki. Then, everything shifts. Hiromi starts moving. Her grip tightens so hard that the person holding her can't even move. In the next second, she snaps. She slams him to the ground with brutal force. Now there's no hiding it. She's turning. Everyone realizes the truth. Hiromi is infected. Suzuki, desperate, tells Lura to lower his weapon before it's too late. But instead of backing down, Lura fires the crossbow straight at Hiromi. She drops instantly. Suzuki loses it. In that moment of shock, they snatch his gun and start beating him brutally. He's left broken on the ground. What Lura did crosses the line. The group turns against him. He's stripped of leadership and Sango takes his place. Later, barely holding himself together, Suzuki reaches Roma. Inside a tent, he sees Hiromi unconscious but alive. Roma reassures him she'll wake up. Then she tells him the truth: they need to escape. These people won't let them live now. But Suzuki shakes his head. It's hopeless. His gun is gone. Without it, stepping outside means certain death. He refuses to risk Hiromi's life like that. Instead, he asks Roma to take care of her. Because he has no choice, he has to go with the others to the store. If he refuses, they'll leave him out there as bait for the zombies. Meanwhile, the group puts their plan into action again, banging metal, making noise, drawing the zombies toward them, setting the stage for another deadly run. While the noise pulls the zombies away, the rest of the group climbs down and rushes into the store. Inside, it's dark, silent. One guy accidentally bumps into something, making a loud noise, but luckily, no zombies respond. At least, not yet. Then suddenly the lights turn on. All of them freeze. No one touched anything. Confused, they spot a door ahead and move deeper inside, quickly gathering as much food as they can. None of them notice the cameras watching their every move. They think they're safe. Then, loud music blasts through the store, out of nowhere, and that's when it hits. A zombie charges in. It attacks one of them, infecting him instantly. Without hesitation, the leader shoots both the infected man and the zombie. For a second, it feels under control, but then more start coming. Not one, not a few, a swarm. Panic explodes. They run for their lives, trying to get out, but zombies are everywhere now, closing in fast. One by one, people start going down. It's a massacre. And the truth, this wasn't random. The lights, the music, the timing, it was all a trap. From the control room, Lura was watching everything. The truth is, Lura planned everything. The moment they entered the store, he secretly slipped into the control room. He turned on the music on purpose, drawing every zombie toward them just so he could escape alone. Outside, the zombies hear the noise and start flooding in. Suzuki, seeing no way out, hides inside a locker. At the same time, below the building, a different kind of zombie appears faster, more aggressive. It sprints, then launches itself high into the air, landing straight on the rooftop tents. A girl spots it, but it's too late. Within seconds, it attacks and turns everyone there. Back in the store, as survivors try to escape, Lura makes his move. He opens the main gate, and just like that, the place is overrun. Zombies pour in from all sides. Everything collapses. Up on the rooftop, Roma hides behind a tent with Hiromi, desperately calling for help on the walkie-talkie. No response. Most are already dead. The rest are running for their lives. Meanwhile, Suzuki is still locked inside the locker, frozen. His mind spirals. If he steps out, he dies. If he fights, he dies. Every thought ends the same way. Death. Fear takes over completely. He can't move, can't think. Then, through the silence, he hears it. Roma's voice on the walkie, screaming for help. Suzuki is still frozen, listening to Roma scream for help. He can't move, but then it hits him. If he keeps hiding, he's not even human anymore. Something snaps. He screams and bursts out of the locker. The second he steps out, a zombie lunges at him, trying to bite, but Suzuki had wrapped multiple watches around his arm. The bite fails. He grabs the walkie and says, "I'm coming. Stay with Hiromi." Then he runs, straight to the basement. There, he finds his shotgun. But before he can catch a breath, zombies surround him. Thinking fast, he grabs a sack of rice and throws it across the floor. The grains scatter everywhere, and the zombies slip and crash down, giving him just enough time to escape. Up on the rooftop, the zombies are already on alert. Roma knows they can't stay. She lifts Hiromi onto her back and rushes down into the store. But the moment she steps inside, Lura is standing there, and something's wrong. His veins turn black. His body twists. He's infected. In seconds, he fully transforms and charges at them. Roma has nowhere to go. Just before he reaches them, Suzuki arrives. Suzuki doesn't hesitate. One clean shot, and Lura's head is gone. The threat is over, but only for a second. The remaining survivors regroup and run, but now an entire horde is chasing them. Ahead, more zombies. They're surrounded. No way out. They place Hiromi to the side. Suzuki reloads his gun, ready for the end. Then Hiromi speaks. For the first time, she says his name. Tells him that as long as he's there, she's not afraid. That's all he needed. The fear disappears. Suzuki snaps into action, shot after shot, taking down zombies one by one. The others join in, fighting with everything they've got. Bodies start dropping, but there are too many. Some of their friends get caught turned right in front of them. That pushes Suzuki over the edge. Fueled by rage, he goes all out, wiping out zombie after zombie until the ground is covered. When it's over, only 3 of them are left. They turn to run, and then it lands. That fast, jumping zombie drops down from above. It sees the bodies and loses it. Enraged, Suzuki quickly reloads and fires. The bullet hits, but nothing happens. The creature just stands there untouched. The creature charges again, but this time Suzuki is out of bullets. No backup, no second chance. The zombie rushes in at full speed. In that split second, Suzuki swings his gun with everything he has, smashing it straight into the creature's head. Impact. The monster drops, dead. Silence. For a moment, everything just stops. Suzuki stands there, surrounded by a mountain of dead zombies, breathing heavily, barely believing he made it. He did the impossible. With only 3 of them left, they grab a car and drive toward Mount Fuji, hoping the safe zone is still there.